Hey everybody, it's Holly from Cape Cod Creatures here. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the Cosmos Tarot and Oracle. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Look at all that gold leafing on the box. Can we even right now? It's so shiny. Um, this is a deck created or put out by Light Gray Art Labs, and it's a collaborative deck. And the premise of this was to recreate the constellations of the night sky as they would apply to a tarot or oracle deck. And the resulting work is just beautiful, you guys. Like, I can't even begin to describe the artwork on the cards. And this is a deck where I will not be doing a full flip through or anything like that because you need to discover the artwork on your own. I will, however, be highlighting some cards, and I will be highlighting the differences between the Cosmos, Oracle, and Tarot to a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith based deck. The mistake I made was somebody mentioned it and said it was collaborative and very pretty. And I looked it up immediately and I went, oh my god, that is so pretty. And I clicked buy without a second thought, and I didn't really read any other reviews or whatnot. And I am in way over my head. Where I am very much a tarot beginner, this is not a traditional tarot deck. So just be prepared for that when you go ahead and buy it, and know that it's not going to be like anything you've ever read before. Right away, the packaging is very sturdy. This is the cover of the box. I thought, oh, I had it upside down. I thought it would be very much in my interest to rip into it and kind of get to know the deck a little bit before I did this video. I still kind of feel unprepared on that front, honestly, because it is so different. But as you can hear and see, the packaging is really nice and sturdy. It's got the gold leafing on it. It's got some great color. It's got title and maker on the side. This is very much an independently produced deck, which is fantastic. You can only get it through Light Gray Art Labs website. Yeah, so you open it up, and this is what you are greeted with. You are greeted with the tarot cards, or most of them are going to be right here. At first, you're going to be a little nervous because you're going to be like, oh my god, there is no way that's a full tarot deck, and it's not. This is the pips. And then this is the oracle, and behind it you'll find your major arcana. So relax, every card is here. Actually, there are 100 cards here. There's 22 of the oracle, and then the traditional 78 with the tarot. And then in the middle you'll find nestled is your little white book. This book is smaller than most guidebooks that come in kits that are priced in this range. And there isn't as much information in the book. As you'll see, like, a lot of these are a little, like, some of the descriptions are kind of sparse, which is fine. But where a deck is so different, I would have loved to have seen more writing, so I had more material to go off of, especially considering that you get a lot of like what the constellation is and a little bit of its history, and then how people in the astral house that they relate it in the, like, you know, the zodiac sign, they kind of relate it to a zodiac sign, and then they're like, and then Leos or this and that, and you're just like, okay, no, beginner, what does the card mean? I'm super glad to know that the card is a Scorpio. For those who are fans of Spinal Tap, I've had a lot of moments where I'm like, I'm glad to know this card is a Scorpio. And I'm really not. I would just really love to know what the card means. But anywho, yeah, so this is the book. It'll tell you everything that you need to know about the card, plus a little less, which is, like I said, really disappointing. I would have loved to have had more description going on in here. The other thing that it does, which I really do appreciate, is it lists, I don't know if you can, oh, glare, okay. Right here, underneath the card, they list the artist and how to contact them. Either their website or their Tumblr or their, I don't know if they do Facebooks, but most of them you're going to find most of their websites and the occasional Tumblr. So that's kind of cool. If you find a card that you really love or an art style that you really appreciate, you can follow them and get more of it, which is great, because with this deck, it's 100 different artists. You're going to discover some absolutely amazing pieces that really speak to you. Okay, so with that, let's jump right into the tarot deck. The first thing that you're going to actually, you know what? Wild Unknown has really spoiled me. I'm going to probably spend my next day off gluing ribbon into boxes so I can pull the cards out a little easier, especially where this one has 2 slots. Like you go to tip out part of the deck and then the other deck goes with it, and that's just kind of a pain in the butt. And I don't like to ruin my boxes by like digging my finger down into them and bending the cardboard. But anywho, your major arcana is right here. It's not as thick as it should be. I've removed a couple of cards that I did want to go over. So here's your major arcana right there. Oh, it's got the gold edging, which is beautiful. So if I were you, I wouldn't trim this deck. There's no need. It is borderless, so that's fantastic. You'll notice that on each card as well in gold leafing, you'll see the constellation as you would find it in the night sky. So if there's a constellation that particularly speaks to you, you can kind of learn how to recognize it, which is great. And then, you know, you could probably look it up in some astral charts and figure out how to find it in your sky at night. And then it also, like I said, it gives the name of the constellation, and then it says how it relates to, it's got some keywords. So this one is the Fool. It also connects it to an element. So this one would be the Fool is for fire. I don't know how accurate that is with other systems. More experienced tarot people would probably know. And then it says the Fool for travel, culture, life philosophy, and adventure. Which is okay, but this is the other thing that kind of gets you, is the meanings stray from the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings, and some of them do it pretty, they're pretty extremely and vastly different from what you're used to. So the Fool is pretty close. Like, okay, I could see travel and I could see life philosophy and adventure, but what about like beginnings and naivete and, you know, just the general lighthearted, but probably, for lack of a better term, kind of stupidness that comes with being like fresh-faced and new and whatnot. So that for me is missing in this Fool card. Although I do really love how the Fools on the bottom are like, hi, we're on a different planet and we're 2 astronauts discovering this big ginormous statue of a horseman thing. So that's kind of awesome. And that artwork really lines up very nicely with the Fool. You know, they're a little in over their heads, and it, you know, they're going to discover some really cool things, but, you know, maybe get into a little trouble along the way. But some of the artwork will not line up for you, and some of it's not lining up for me. Good example of that would be Temperance. Temperance is far from the meaning that you would find in a Rider-Waite-Smith. This one says assistance, encouragement, or patron. And then the description in the book goes on to describe like how an easel would help you paint something. Temperance to me is more about balance and kind of, you know, pouring some water on the fire or putting some heat on that ice. You know, it's just, and this is, like I said, it's really weird. I love the mule donkey things and like how they're melty and dreamscapey. And then you've got this weird, this is supposed to be like this. I've looked it up because I wasn't convinced, but that is indeed supposed to have been painted like that. And I don't get it. I don't. Maybe some of you do. Maybe this really speaks to some of you, but I don't understand it. Okay, so that is one card that I did not like. The other thing that you're going to notice with this deck too is there aren't the traditional suits of pips. You will find, instead of swords, wands, cups, and pence, you're going to find that it is earth, air, water, fire. The nice thing is that they have kept the associations of the elements with the suits, so that way it's a little easier to get through. For example, pentacles would be earth, cups would be water, swords would be air, and wands would be fire. So that's all still the same. And at the top of the card, you'll see they have like, okay, it's water and it's number 1. So this would be the 1 of cups right here. You'll not find the traditional symbols of the suits on any of these cards. But again, constellation, name of constellation and description you will definitely find. So yeah, and again, the meanings stray pretty far. Ooh, actually, you know what? I really like this one. Ara, the scapegoat, ritual, ceremony, and sacrifice. Although this would, since it is a scapegoat, it would say more to me about maybe blaming others for your actions, or you know, skirting an issue or something like that. It could mean a lot of different things. And honestly, if we're quite honest, Nine of Wands, I'm not exactly I've yet to memorize that one. That's still one that I'm kind of like, oh, it means this. Yeah, I would have to look that one up. One that I do know off the top of my head, because I see it come up in readings a lot, especially relationships, or relationship readings, where people are just like, oh my god, I love this boy, but he doesn't love me. Should I totally still try and date him? I see the Three of Swords come up a lot. And that usually is like heartbreak and betrayal and all sorts of good stuff. And the Three of Swords here is Hercules. I love Hercules. I love this painting. I like how it's kind of, you know, it's the snake that's guarding the golden apples. That is amazing. You need to read that particular story. It's fantastic. I kind of don't like how Hercules is kind of the Geico caveman in this. And I also don't like how the keywords that are this are great effort or trial, which very much fit with the story of Hercules, and how he had to go through his trials to prove that he was worthy of being seated on Olympus, and Hera kept harassing him at every turn. But for the Three of Swords, I don't think that way. I think of like, you know, getting all caught up and bound and stuck in emotional grit and grime and heartbreak and whatnot. So, not so much. I guess that could be a trial, but it's a stretch. So, I don't know. This is a card that just did not speak to me right away. Okay, and then the other card that I'll point out again about differences is this other beautiful card. This is their Death card. Which I think is absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely got like a darker motif going on here, but where death is we traditionally think about it as a change, or particularly a difficult one or a painful one, or even just something that's kind of like not difficult, but like a big change is going to come and it's going to like kind of overturn and upturn everything. But it's not a bad thing, or, you know, something's coming to an end, but also something might start, kind of a deal. This is more tool of creation, refinement, and configuration, because it goes to talk about the Callum, which is a sculpting tool, which is fine. And then in the book it goes further on to talk about like how you're going to be getting help from somebody to do something, and it's just... Okay, that's not what death means. So very much this whole thing, this whole tarot is its own system. It's beautiful and I love it, and it's going to be great to learn. And thankfully they put those keywords on there because we will certainly need them. But oh my God, this one is beautiful. I love the lines on this one. But it's going to be its own thing. Oh, and this is another one too. It's another sword card, and they depict it's Karina, you know, like iceberg. There's more underneath the surface than you're thinking. So it's a risk to structure, stress, potential damage. So I guess there's that, but also I see icebergs. I think like there's more than meets the eye. There's a lot going on underneath the surface that you're not noticing or thinking about. So that's a different one, and also it's a fishing boat. I'm a fisherman's daughter, so I love that one. And I just dropped it on the floor, so I will have to pick it up in a little bit. Oops. Okay, so that is the tarot. And then we're going to move on to the oracle part. So to differentiate, the back of the tarot has blue. Oh, here's this. Back of the tarot has blue, and it's got the earth, air, water, fire symbols in the corners. And the Cosmos Oracle is purple, and it just has circles. And the thing that I do like about the planning of the icons in the corner is that if you are combining the decks, which I think I will probably wind up doing, I'll just turn it into one big deck. The corners are different, like the symbols are on different corners. So if you're going through real quick, you can separate real quick, and you can, you know, you can differentiate. Like, this is a tarot, this is an oracle. I don't like it because I'm going to make one big deck. Like, it's kind of like, oh, I gotta know what kind of card that is, yay. But you know, I know it's an oracle instead of a astral body, but I mean, that's nitpicky. I mean, really, that is very nitpicky for such a beautiful deck. I gotta try and find some cons, right? So anyway, the oracle deals with where the tarot deals with constellations, the oracle deals with astral bodies. So you're gonna find things like the 9 planets. You will find doubles of some things. Well, you'll find another sun, which is not to be confused with the sun from the tarot. So this is the sun. Oh my god, it is beautiful. I love this like weird little creature sitting on the lotus. I think it's supposed to be a Vamana. This draws heavily on Hindu tradition. It is gorgeous. I know a bunch of people that would love that tattooed on them, and I'm probably one of them. You'll find another moon in here. You'll find, where's the moon? Crud. I don't know where the moon went. But there's another moon in here. I believe there's also a star, if I remember correctly. There's Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Mars, Earth, Venus, Mercury. There was a moon. So anyway, oh, here it is. Yep, there's another moon. So there's a sun and a moon. This moon is beautiful. Not to be confused with the moon in the tarot. So there are definitely at least those 2 doubles. I haven't really thought to go through and look at the rest though. Another one that I really appreciated was the wormhole. Is gorgeous. I mean, it's you wouldn't think about that for space, but it looks like she's drifting, and like she's listening to music, she's in her own little world and she's drifting, and that is gorgeous. But that also is serendipitous meetings, shortcut, and secret link. I wouldn't think of it for that. And then let's see, another one of my absolute favorite cards in this whole entire deck is the black hole, and this is an oracle card. It's a drain on resources and a dangerous undercurrent, and this is just a very ominous card to me. I love the little gold leafing that he's swallowing up all that matter, and he reminds me very much, about to get nerdy on you, of the pit of Sarlacc, or a moray eel. Just, you're not escaping him. He is scary and he's dangerous, and you might not even know he's there or see him coming. So I absolutely love this card. And then today I did a daily draw for my new tarot journal. I decided it'd probably be a good idea to at least journal my daily draws. And oh my god, that glare is so awful. I'm sorry. But here that is. Just some like, oh my goodness, this is what you drew. Here's the weather. What your mood is. Because I should probably be tracking my moods. I'm kind of a grumpy Gus sometimes. I drew Uranus today from this card and oracle deck. I put them all together, and this was the one card I drew out of the 100. And I drew him in reverse, and he warns about getting in over your head, which is really... Thank you, Cosmos Tarot and Oracle, for that really belated warning about how over my head I am with this whole deck. But it's like I said, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be definitely worth learning. I cannot wait to dive in and do reads. I will be journaling the heck out of it. I've already chosen a few of the cards. I've been doing a few tarot challenges. I've chosen a few as some of my favorites. And then I will, okay, so now that I've said, like, the artwork, I said, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Everything in this deck is absolutely beautiful, except for, oh my god, I love this one, swordfish. Swordfish are dangerous, guys. Like, seriously, do not underestimate the humble swordfish. But yeah, no, like, there's one card that I just cannot stand. I hate looking at it. I'm not going to remove it from the deck because I don't like when people are just like, you don't like card, just take it out. And no, doesn't work that way. I'm just going to hate it until the end of time. And I am very sorry, Bob Reibholds or Reibholds or whatever, however you pronounce your last name. I'm sure you worked really hard on this card, but I hate it with the fiery passion of 10,000 white hot suns. And without any further ado, it is the Page of Earth or Pentacles. Canis Minor. Look at it. Look at his face. If this was like a happy cartoon deck, this would fit in beautifully, but it is not. Like like compared to everything else in this deck, even the most cartoony card aside from that is this, and it still doesn't even really fit in. Like it doesn't like it's a collaborative deck. It is what it is. It's never gonna really be like, but like come on now, that is just, it is just so mentally jarring. And it's the underdog, overlooked talent, and unglorified action. And like maybe it's this way so that way it screams and gets your attention, because underdogs very much don't. But oh, I love dogs so much, and why did you do this to this card? I don't know. I just, like I said, it's just not a thing that I love. But dogs and canines are very well represented in this deck. They've got some beautiful stuff going on for them. So dog lovers, do not be like, well, now I can't get that deck because of this card. I can't even. But anywho, like I said, it's a beautiful deck. Don't let one card or any one card not like keep you from, don't let any one particular card or art style keep you from getting this deck, because there are over 100 artists that worked very hard. This is a beautiful one to create this deck. This is another gorgeous one. And it's very special. It's a very special work, and the day that they stop making it is going to be a sad one. So I am very glad that I own it, and I feel very privileged to be able to learn it and to read with it. That being said, final thought on it is I wish they had just done what it seems to me like they have done, which is do just an oracle deck with like slight hints and nods and tips of the hat to the writer, to tarot. But I mean, I think this is better served as an oracle deck. Just mix them all together and use them as oracle. I wouldn't like, and you can, and it's a big enough deck with enough nods at traditional tarot to still be able to do them with tarot spreads. It's not like you're trying to do a big spread with a like 35 card oracle deck, and like that's a pain in the ass, because as far as I'm concerned, there's never enough cards in an oracle deck to do a 12 card spread. And oracles usually aren't as nuanced as tarot, which I also like. Tarot's a little more open-ended. It's kind of like a well, what do you think it means kind of a thing, where oracle decks are like, this is what it means. So like I said, this is nuanced enough where you can still read intuitively. You can still draw different meanings out of each card. Like, oh my god, look at that Neptune, he's gorgeous. So yeah, definitely don't be turned off by the fact that it's different. But like I said, I wish they had just called, I wish they just called it what it was and just called it a 100 card oracle deck. But anywho, this has been my review of the Cosmos Tarot. And yeah, just definitely jump on this train, but just know, like, it is not a beginner deck. Just know what you're getting into when you buy it, so that way you're not completely thrown off of your game when you finally do dive in. So yeah, this has been Holly with Cape Cod Creatures and my review of the Cosmos Tarot and Oracle. Thank you guys.